It's Themistode, FightHype.com, here with my guy, Keyshawn Davis. How you feeling, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
All right. I mean, listen, man, that performance you put on against Anthony Yigit was incredible, man.
Yeah,
What's your overall thoughts on the way you performed that night, man?
I felt good after that fight. I'm not gonna lie. I just feel like overall, I just put on a great performance, and I always say that's really all that matters. So the fans, was the winners tonight, that night, as I've always.
For sure, man. On paper, Yigit appeared to be like the best guy that you were ever gonna face in the ring. Didn't exactly look like that in the ring, but I wasn't the person in the ring. So, what did you kind of think? Did he kind of push you to a place that nobody else has pushed you to before, or were you just like maybe in like your first gear and you didn't have to go to like your second and third now?
No, I definitely went through gears because I was just trying to stop him.
Mhm.
I could have really just made it a real boring fight. I really could have just kept it real defensive. Him not hitting me, just jab him all day, 1, 2. I could have just kept it boring. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have to really go through gears with Anthony, but I was just trying to stop him. So I definitely went through the gears, and just the first time going 9, almost going 10, but going 9 rounds. I just feel like going through the gears a second and a third time would it would be even easier for me. You know what I'm saying?
Did your body, because I mean, to me, looking ringside, you didn't look winded at all. You look perfectly fine. But did your body feel fine going those 9 rounds, man?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm never winded during no fights. Even me going when I was amateur going 3 round fights, I gave it my all, but I was never winded. Like
Mhm.
being winded, that's never on my mind, like ever. You know what I'm saying? So people don't gotta really look for me getting tired anytime. You know what I'm saying? So, but as far as like how my body was feeling going to 9 rounds and just punching and retaliating,
Yeah,
I really felt good.
gotcha. You're 8-0, but you're not even considered a prospect at this point. At least I don't think a lot of people would consider you a prospect. I think you're more so a contender now. Um, how far along you think you are until you actually get a world title shot, man?
Uh, Honestly, I really feel like. Go ahead. I really feel like it's really all like on my time.
Mm,
I feel like once I put myself in a position to get a world title,
mm,
for the most part, then I should be able to get one. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
right now, we definitely working on getting in a position. We already there, but just getting that top five, the top three, the number one, which is a mandatory. You know what I'm saying? So we definitely getting close to being like top five.
Um, do you see I don't know how soon, but relatively soon in like the near future, do you see yourself having like a homecoming fight in Norfolk, just like, you know, Shakur always has them. Jared is actually having one in July. Are you hoping that, yeah, let me get my homecoming now too?
Yeah, I'm hoping for real, man. I'm hoping we can do it this year. Everything just gotta make sense, and I just feel like for me personally, I want to have the right opponent for me to fight in my hometown. You know what I'm saying? I want that jump to really make sense. You know what I'm saying? Like a event nobody will want to see. Like a fighter I'm fighting against, nobody will want to miss. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
it's just everything got to make sense for me.
Gotcha. We have to touch on the post-fight interview. You didn't really mention names, but everybody knew you was talking about Frank Martin. Everybody knew that.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
I'm not sure if you saw it. Well, I think you did actually, because you responded to him on his social media post, and he was just like, I'm fiending. Forget letting it marinate. Well, he really said, "Fuck letting it marinate," and then we could make the fight happen right now. We could bang it out. So, what's kind of like your thoughts on his response to what you were saying?
I just feel like it really took for me to put it in everybody's face. This is a good fight for him to respond and say, "Let's fight." At first, everything he was saying, and Earl Spence was saying, I took it as excuses.
Okay.
Oh, he need more rounds. Oh, this, oh that. The entire time I was saying was let's fight. I wasn't saying anything else but let's fight. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like now that I take it to national television, he accepts the fight. it's kind of weird to me. You know what I'm saying? Now all of a sudden you want to fight now. Everything you said just goes out the window. So I don't know, but in terms of me, like
Mhm.
I've been saying before, out of all these prospects, I'm willing to fight, all these prospects. And
Mhm.
Frank Martin, I feel like was the most significant. And I feel like at the end of the day, I made, you know what I'm saying? That fight was on me. I made it, you know what I'm saying? So
Well,
I'm letting the fans know that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to fight.
to be fair, because I spoke to Frank probably about 2 weeks ago or something like that. And Frank was very complimentary, man. He was like, he said you got real good skills, man. But the reason why he was just like he wasn't so interested in taking the fight right now was because he was just like, you have a few fights under your belt. When he fights you and beats you, he wants to get his just due. That's what he was saying. So what do you kind of think about what he was saying for there?
I mean, I heard him say that. Honestly. Come here, KK. I heard him say that honestly, and I respect it. But as a fighter, feel like that I don't really respect it because I know what I can do to you, Frank Martin. You know what I'm saying? And I respect him the same way he respect me. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, as a fighter, I know what I would do to Frank Martin. So it's not him getting his just due in terms of him talking to me, maybe to the fans. All right. But I'm not no fan. I'm not taking it like no fan. You gonna get your just due by me doing what I'm gonna do to you.
You keep saying that you know what you'll do to Frank Martin. So I kind of just wanted you to elaborate on that. Like, do you think it'll be a relatively easy fight for you? You think it'll kind of look like the Yigit fight? Do you see yourself stopping Frank Martin? Kind of elaborate on that because you keep saying, "I know what I will do to you, Frank Martin."
At the end of the day, I know I'm gonna win. I can say that for sure. At the end of the day, I know I'm going to win. You know what I'm saying? That's what I do know. You feel
Okay.
what I'm saying? So I can say, I just feel like everything else I can say, the fans can be like, okay, he's talking outside of his neck. But what the fans need to know, and what they need to know that I know, I will win that fight for sure. I don't care how it goes. I'm gonna win. Ain't gonna be no draw. I'm gonna win the first time. I'm gonna win.
I mean, obviously, you want to fight him. You want to fight just about everybody. But there's also a business side of boxing, man. Just like with Shakur. Like Shakur's been asked that question a million times during his fight week when he was just like, yeah, he's down to fight the Devin Loma winner and win all the belts. But then again, he's also just like, if I could get that Gervonta versus Ryan Garcia fight, my stock will go through the roof. So I guess putting in like your perspective, do you kind of look at Frank Martin and just say, yeah, we could get it on now, but maybe we should let it marinate a little bit and then fight maybe 2 years, a year and a half down the line, or you just want to fight right now, man?
That's how I look at it for myself. Just for myself.
Mhm.
People get excited about watching me fight, right? Can we say that?
For sure.
People really get excited about watching me fight, right?
Mhm.
What kind of opponents was them?
You mean like on like the scale of like 1 to 10, how good they were, you mean?
Yes.
Well, I'll definitely say that the road that you've been on and only eight
And you
fights.
don't and you don't have to be honest. You can keep it all the way real.
Nah, I'm always gonna keep it real, man. I ain't
So,
never bullshit you. But I'll definitely say for only having 8 fights, you have fought some very, very good opposition. I can't maybe outside of like Lomachenko, and maybe like a select few others, you really don't see guys that are prospects that'll fight guys that you're fighting right now.
but the point I'm trying to make is those fighters are pulling no attraction.
Mm, okay.
People is getting excited about watching me fight.
Mm,
Period.
mhm.
So in terms of what you just asked me, on my end, people is gonna come watch me fight.
Okay. Fair enough, man. Do you kind of look at Frank Martin as like is he your like Terence Crawford, Errol Spence? Is he like your Shakur Steven, Devin Haney? Like, is he your guy where you kind of look across the ring and you're just like, yeah, that's my big fight right there, man.
No.
Okay.
I just think that's a big fight.
Okay.
I
Fair enough.
think that is my first big fight. Think about it like this.
Mhm.
I think about it like this. When Tank was first coming up, his very first big fight was Tevin Farmer. Everybody was getting hype over, him and Tevin Farmer, him and Tevin Farmer. That was his first big fight. That could have been his big fight.
Mhm.
Fight never happened, and he still turned out to be who? Because people just love to see him fight.
For sure.
This was before he was main eventing.
Mhm. Fair enough, man. Well, hopefully the Frank Martin fight will happen. The quote unquote different side of the street thing and whatever. But somebody that is a little bit more likely, and he did tell me, I think you saw it too, that he's down to fight you right now, whenever, is Jermaine Ortiz. What do you think about him as a fighter, man?
Okay, I'm gonna answer that. But to go back on what I just said on
Mhm.
that Tevin Farmer and Javante Davis, I'm not saying me and Frank is not going to fight.
Okay.
I want to fight Frank. I just want to put that. I want to put that clear the air.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, Frank, I want to fight you. Let's make it happen.
Yeah.
Jermaine Ortiz.
Mm-hmm.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna stay on Frank because this is more air I got clear.
For sure, man. Yo, it's
Okay,
all
we want
about
to fight.
you. It's all
I
about
want
you.
to fight. And to answer you, I ain't answered this other question that you said.
Okay.
We can fight now.
Mm-hmm.
We can fight now, but we also can fight later.
Mm,
He gonna know. He gonna if he watch it, he gonna know what I mean. But I feel like we can fight now and then rematch it.
gotcha.
Depending on how dirty I do you, depending on how good you are. But I feel like we can fight now and then we can also rematch it. We young. We young in our career.
Mm-hmm.
If one of us, whatever, however it goes, okay, rematch it. I'll be willing to rematch it. We sell tickets, rematch it.
I like it, man. What do you kind of think about him overall as a fighter, man? Where would you kind
Yeah.
of position him in the division?
I feel like Frank Martin is definitely in the division. I feel like Frank Martin, like outside of the Shakurs, the Devins, and the Tanks, because that's like they like in their own little lane. I feel like between me and Frank Martin, I feel like we're both in our lane at the top
Mm,
right now. We at the top of all the 135s that's coming up. You know what I'm saying? And, I just feel like that's where we stand at right now. I feel like
gotcha.
we both knocking on the door of that top 135 lane. You know what I'm saying? I feel like we both just right at that door.
Gotcha. Did you kind of feel like, because I mean, like I said, I spoke to Frank about 2 weeks ago and whatever, and not only was he saying that you're a really good fighter, but he was kind of making it a point to say that, you spar with Shakur all the time, you spar with Terence Crawford, but you're not, I guess, like getting like the right results, like completely steamrolling guys, because you're getting like the best work out there. So what would be your response to that?
Um, I mean, that's like he say she say shit. That's just opinionated, totally opinionated. Because I really feel like every person I done fought, I done beat the hell out of. Like, because I done hit guys with 4 hooks, double uppercuts. I stopped most of everybody. I mean, a comment like that is like, damn, what more do you want me to do?
Hmm.
Or a comment like that is just like, okay, he just feel like he will beat my guys better than what I done. But okay, I feel the same way about your guys. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That's he say she say shit.
yeah.
I feel like everything I say be factual.
Gotcha. Does a part of you kind of look at, and I know you love Shakur, but does a part of you kind of look at like the whole Devin Haney thing? Because I know I've spoke to you before and you think Devin Haney's going to beat Lomachenko, but does a part of you kind of hope that, all right, hope Devin does win, and I hope Devin does move up to 140, because once he does, all 4 belts get vacated, as opposed to if he fights Shakur, and if Shakur wins, then all 4 of the belts stay with Shakur. You guys are like brothers. You guys are not going to fight. So I'm never going to insinuate that. So, but part of you just like, I kind of hope he moves up. Shakur gets a few belts. I get a few belts. And, we could both kind of reign at 135 together, man.
Well, shoot, I know if Shakur get them belts, then it's still kind of on my side.
Mm-hmm.
Can't say too much on that, but um, if Devin do beat Lomachenko, I would rather him to vacate because it would just be me easier for me to get a belt rather than everybody going for one person.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
and then after this fight, Devin is gonna be free from his contract. So
Hmm.
then it's really gonna be everybody going for one person. You know what I'm saying? You know, like so it's like no telling when I'm gonna get them belts. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fair.
So I would definitely just finna be vacated, even if it wasn't just Devin, if it was anybody.
At this stage in your career, you're only 24, 8-0, former silver medalist. But you aren't like the typical prospect. Like I've said before, you're like more of a contender at this point, even though you only have 8 fights under your belt, man. If it was up to you, it's not gonna happen. But if it was up to you, do you feel like you're ready right now to fight a guy like Devin Haney? Or are you just like, I feel like I have enough skills to like fight him and maybe beat him, but you haven't fought a 12 rounder yet. You haven't gone 10 yet. You just want to get a little bit more of that experience before you fought a Devin. Or if it just came up to you, yo, Devin, let's get it on.
I would say 2 more fights, I would be ready to fight like literally anybody.
Mm.
2 more fights, I would literally be able to just give me anybody, any from 140 to 135 to 130. Give me anybody.
Dude, since you mentioned 140, do you see yourself moving up? You are a pretty put together guy. So do you see yourself moving up to 140 relatively soon?
Yeah, for sure.
So I guess you don't really have too much time left at 135, man.
Well, I got as much time as I wanted to be.
Mm. But I guess it'll probably be more comfortable for you if you just move up to 140 sooner rather than later, basically.
I like how you ask your questions. No, I sit at 140 throughout camp. This last camp, I was sitting at 140.
Got
So
it.
like I said, I can make 135 as long as I want to make 135. I never get out of shape. You know, I'm not no I don't have no bad I don't have no bad habits outside of the gym. You know what I'm saying? I don't have no bad habits outside of the gym other than me probably working too hard.
I've seen you at plenty of fights when you don't have a fight scheduled, and you always look in shape to me. So I can't really say that you're lying or anything like that. It's probably hard for you to answer this question because, like I said, you're only 24. You probably have like 10, 12, 15 years left or whatever. But like, how high up in weight do you think you can eventually get to, though, man?
Shoot, like 154 for
Mm,
sure.
that's
154
that's pretty big, man.
for sure. I mean, I'm sizing up right now with Terence Crawford. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
He just walking around at a heavier weight, but like sizing up like with him right now. So just when I get like 35, 30, 32 years old, 35 years old, freaking 33 and 0, you know what I'm saying? Like 47, 54.
Okay, I like the sound of it, man.